Hey all, this is Rachel over at Moonlight Library. I'm here today to talk about summer anticipated releases. So I've never done a video like this, well, anticipated releases video, so I'm really excited to kind of run you through how I choose books or like look at books that are coming up, and then just kind of reading through the books that I can't wait to come out this summer in the genres I'm interested in, and I hope you are too. I'm a very diverse reader. So also, before we get started, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. I come out with videos right now 2 times a week, sometimes once a week, but right now it's 2 times a week. And yeah, if you're not new here, then welcome back. Love to see you. So let us go through the books that I'm excited that are coming out this summer, and that includes books coming out in May, like right now. I don't usually anticipate reads, but recently I've just been doing a lot of reading through books coming out, looking up authors that I enjoy and seeing whether they have more books coming out. There's been a change inside of me to the core, where maybe I am looking forward to books that are being released sooner rather than just paying attention to what is already released. Because in the past, it's always been like, I start hearing about it from other people, and that's when I'm like, okay, maybe I want to read this book. It's not so much, oh, I can't wait for this book to come out. I haven't heard anyone talk about it, or like I've barely heard about it. I don't know what anyone's experience is with it. So let's get into this. I made a list. I didn't make a list. So on my want to read shelf on Goodreads, I can look it up by publication year, and then it basically tells me which ones I want to read soon, or that are going to be released. So let's go back to early May, because I have like a couple last week and this week that I want to read. My cat cannot ask me to go outside of this room because no. LPC, no. Okay, so we're gonna go through these in genre. I just started reading them before and I was like, you know what, Rachel, this isn't making much sense. So let's go by genre. So we're gonna start with horror. So the first one, The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Khaw. I did not like Nothing But Blackened Teeth. I actually didn't even finish it. It was only like 100 pages. I gave it away in my unhaul that I did recently. I just like, it was not good. But this one, okay, so Nothing But Blackened Teeth, the average score for it was like 2.8 or something on Goodreads. So bad. And this one is 3.84. It's a little better. This came out March 2nd as well. A razor sharp and bewitching fairy tale of discovering the darkness in the world and the darkness within oneself. You may think you know how the fairy tale goes. A mermaid comes to the shore and weds the prince. But what the fables forget is that mermaids have teeth. So I feel like this is more of like an original, or like the original concept of what a fairy tale is, and how they're a little more brutal than Disney plays them out to be. So that sounds pretty good. The next is The Beast You Are, and this is by Paul Tremblay. It comes out July 11th. So a haunting collection of short fiction from, okay, we don't need to know everything he's written. I've read Paul Bearer's Club, I've read Head Full of Ghosts, and I've read Cabin at the End of the World by him. So I'm pretty excited to read some short stories. I've never read short stories from him. 15 pieces of this brilliant collection, all monsters of a kind ready to loudly and lovingly smash through your head and into your heart. And then it gives a couple of like ideas of, or a couple of them, and talks about them. So say The Dead Thing is one of them. A middle schooler struggles to deal with the aftermath of his parents' substance addictions and split, One day, her little brother claims he found a shoebox with the dead thing inside. He won't show it to her, and he won't let the box out of his sight. Interesting. So the next one is Silver Nitrate. So I just read Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I think I am in a minority that was like, it was okay, but it was not the best piece of literature I have read. My cat's scratching at the door. This one comes out July 18th. I am excited to try out another book from her though, so let's read about it. A fabulous meld of Mexican horror movies and Nazi occultism, a dark thriller about the curse that haunts a legendary LPC. Stop. That is a horrible sound. Where was I? A dark thriller about the curse that haunts a legendary lost film and awakens one woman's hidden powers. Montserrat has always been overlooked. She's a talented sound editor, but she's left out of the boys club running the film industry in 90s Mexico City. This sounds amazing. This sounds so good. I love film industry stuff. I love, like, we're adding film into a horror book. Yep, that's it. That's it. Her Little Flowers by Shannon Morgan. I'm just leaning and it's fine. So this one comes out July 25th and it is Francine Thwaite, I think that's how you say it, has lived all her 55 years in her family's ancestral home, a rambling Elizabethan manor in England's Lake District. No other living soul resides there, but Frances isn't alone. There are ghosts in Thwaite Manor, harmless and familiar. Most beloved is Bree, the mischievous ghost girl who has been Francine's companion since early childhood. When Francine's estranged sister, Madeline, returns to the manor after years away, she brings with her a story that threatens everything Francine has always believed. Interesting. Maybe it has something to do about the house and the ghosts and stuff like that. So I'm excited. Okay, so then we have Where Echoes Die by Courtney Gold, and this is June 20th it comes out. Beck Biersching has been adrift during the death of her mother, a brilliant but troubled investigative reporter. She finds herself unable to stop herself, I don't like that, from slipping into memories of happier days, clamoring for a time when things were normal. So when a mysterious letter in her mother's handwriting arrives in the mail with the words, "Come and find me," pointing to a town called Backravel, Beck hopes that it may hold the answers. Ooh, that's interesting. So the next one is Mr. Magic, and that's by Kristen White. I know a lot of people did not like Hyde, but this cover is so good. This is a good cover. This is August 8th, this year. Why was I going to say the year? This year, not next year. Anyways, who is Mr. Magic? Former child stars reunite to uncover the tragedy that ended their show and discover the secret of its enigmatic host in this dark supernatural thriller. It says like 30 years later, after a tragic accident shut down production of the classic children's program Mr. Magic. That sounds really interesting. I love that, where everyone gets back together and has to like solve like something. I'm in. So this one is September 12th, but I'm gonna read it to you anyways. It's Rouge by Mona Awad, and I just read Bunny and I freaking loved it, so of course I want to read her next book. From the author of Bunny comes a horror-tinted gothic fairy tale about a lonely dress shop clerk whose mother's unexpected death sends her down a treacherous path in pursuit of youth and beauty. Can she escape her mother's fate and find a connection that is more than skin deep? For as long as she can remember, Belle has been insidiously obsessed with her skin and skincare videos. When her estranged mother, Noelle, mysteriously dies, Belle finds herself in Southern California dealing with her mother's considerable debts and grappling with the lingering questions about her death. So I feel like this one's kind of interesting, but at the same time it sounds like it's covering a lot of grounds. So next up, we're going to talk about Sci-Fi Fantasy. We'll put them together. We're going to start with Chain Gang All-Stars. It came out May 2nd, so I should probably go buy this. This is by Nana Kwame Brinya. I read Friday Black. Oh my god. What a good short story collection. It's all about it's like this surrealist collection that deals with like race and inequality and perception and stuff like that, and like violence, and it is absurd and amazing, and just like makes such a good point. Just so good. So of course I'm excited for his novel coming out. I believe this is a debut novel, so we'll read a little bit about what it's about. Two top women gladiators fight for their freedom within a depraved private prison system not so far removed from America's own. Loretta and Hamara Hurricane Stacks are the stars of Chain Gang All-Stars, the cornerstone of CAPE, or Criminal Action Penal Entertainment, a highly popular, highly controversial, profit-raising program in the Americas' increasingly dominant private prison industry. That sounds insane. How does he come up with these ideas? Wild. Oh my god. And we're going to be talking about the prison industrial complex, and there's a lot to say about that. Deep as the sea, red as this deep as the sky, red as the sea. And this is by Rita Chang Epig. I have never read from this person, but I am interested. May 30th is when it comes out. This is for readers of Outlawed, Piranesi, and The Night Tiger, a riveting, roaring adventure novel about a legendary Chinese pirate queen, her fight to save her fleet from the forces allied against her, and the dangerous price of power. Interesting. The next is Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow, and that is June 1st. So this richly told adult fantasy debut teams with Chinese deities and demons cavorting in jazz-age Shanghai. So maybe it's gonna be kind of like These Violent Delights. So pawned by her mother to the king of hell as a child, Lady Jing is half vampire, half Huli Jing, fox spirit, and all sasshole. Okay, this sounds funny and weird and fantastical. So this is sci-fi. This is On Earth as It Is on Television by Emily Jane. Never read anything from her. This is June 13th it comes out. So first contact stories have never been as intoxicating and fun as in Emily Jane's novel of the sudden arrival and equally sudden departure of spaceships above Earth. The arrival of spaceships can bring up a lot of big questions. What does it mean that we're not alone? Why did aliens come here? Who knew beforehand? Where are the aliens going? Wait, they can't just leave without inviting us into their galactic federation, or at the very least, obliterating us. Oh, that sounds hilarious. Yep. Okay, I'm there. So another sci-fi, this is The Deep Sky by Yumi Kitase. So Yumi Kitase, The Deep Sky is an enthralling sci-fi thriller debut about a mission into deep space that begins with a lethal explosion that leaves the survivors questioning the loyalty of the crew. They left Earth to save humanity. They have to save themselves first. It is the eve of Earth's environmental collapse. A single ship carries humanity's last hope. 80 elite graduates of a competitive program who will give birth to a generation of children in deep space. Okay. Okay, we just brought up Chloe Gong, so here we are again. Immortal Longings. This is a new series by Chloe Gong, and it comes out July 18th. This is the first one in the series. It is inspired by Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, is a fiery collision of power plays, spilled blood, and romance amidst a set of deadly games. Every year, thousands in the kingdom of Tallinn will flock to its capital city, twin cities, San-Ur, where the palace hosts a set of games. Okay, I like that. Games, fantasy, yes. So, The Sun and the Void by Gabriela Romero Lacruz. I've never read anything from her. This comes out July 25th. In a lush world inspired by the history and folklore of South America, a sweeping epic fantasy of colonialism, ancient magic, and two young women's quest for belonging unfolds. Reina is desperate, stuck living on the edge of society. Her only salvation lies in an invitation from her grandmother she's never known. But a journey is dangerous, and prayer can't always avert disaster. Attacked by creatures that stalk the region, Reina is on the verge of death until her grandmother, a dark sorceress, intervenes. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. So next is The Water Outlaws by S.L. Huang, and that is August 22nd. Inspired by a classic of martial arts literature, in this book there are bandits of devastating ruthlessness, unseemingly femininity, dangerous philosophies, and ungovernable gender who are ready to make history or tear it apart. In Jiang Hu, you break the law and make it your own. Lin Chong is an expert arms instructor training the emperor's soldiers in sword and truncheon. Okay, yeah. Anyways, so this one sounds like battle, sort of fantasy. Sounds good. So let's go back to the top, and we're going to do mystery thrillers. I have a couple of these. So we have The Chateau by Jacqueline Goldis, and this is May 23rd it comes out. A dream girl trip to a luxurious French chateau devolves into a deadly nightmare of secrets and murder, and this stylish, twisty thriller for fans of Lucy Foley, Ruth Ware, and Lisa Jewell. Welcome to the picturesque province where the Lady of Chateau Safine de Margelles has opened its elegant doors to her granddaughter Darcy and three friends. 20 years earlier, the four girlfriends studied abroad together in France and visited the old woman on the weekends, creating the group's deep bond. But why this sudden invitation? So this is something must have happened before sort of thing. Okay, so next is The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding, and that comes out June 13th. So I've never read Robin Harding. So this is a deliciously twisted story of friendship, retribution, and betrayal about a homeless woman fleeing a dangerous past and the wealthy society wife she saves from drowning, who pulls her into a dark web of secrets and lies. Lee Gulliver never thought she'd find herself living in the streets. No one ever does. But when her restaurant fails, when she falls deeper into debt, she leaves her old life behind with nothing but her clothes and her Toyota Corolla. Whew. Okay. Next is obviously Ruth Ware's new book, 0 Days. I have loved Ruth Ware in the past, like most of her books. I didn't really love The It Girl more recently, but it was still okay. Adrenaline-fueled thriller that combines Mr. and Mrs. Smith with The Fugitive, about a woman in a race against time to clear her name and find her husband's murderer. Hired by companies to break into buildings and hack security systems, Jack and her husband, Gabe, are best penetration specialists in the business, but after a routine assessment goes horribly wrong, Jack arrives home to find her husband dead. Okay, yeah. So the next is Riley Sager. That's my baby. The only one left alive. And this one comes out June 20th. Oh my god, I love him. At 17, Lenora Hope Hung, her sister, oh, sorry, typo in the Goodreads. Typo. I'll fix that later. I have librarian status on Goodreads, so I can fix things. Anyways, at 17, Lenora Hope hung her sister with a rope. Now, oh my god, so many typos in this. Now reduced to a schoolyard chant, the Hope family murder shocked the Maine coast one bloody night in 1929. While most people assume 17-year-old Lenora was responsible, the police were never able to prove it, other than her denial after the killings. She has never spoken publicly about that night, nor has she set foot outside Hope's Inn, the cliffside mansion where the massacre occurred. Okay, so yes, I think she's like very old now and ready to tell the truth of what happened. I like that. You weirdo. Okay, so next up, we're just gonna do everything else I have on my list. So this is contemporaries and romance because I don't have many of either. So Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Obviously want to read this one, May 25th. What's the harm in a pseudonym? New York Times bestselling sensation Juniper Song is not who she says she is. She didn't write the book she claims she wrote, and is most certainly not Asian American, in this chilling and hilariously cutting novel from R.F. Kuang. So I think it's about this white lady who decides to write under an Asian pseudonym, and it's like very problematic. So that sounds great. Okay. So next one is One More with Feeling by Elisa Sussman. I wasn't really big on, was it Happened One Night? I don't remember the name of the book. Maybe I should look. Funny you should ask. I was going to say That Funny Feeling. I'm just coming up with things. So this one comes out May 30th. I wasn't a big fan of the other one because I feel like with romance, it just has to be your trope for it to work. And I like the writing. I just think that it was missing something that would have made it mine. So let's hear what this one's about. Then, Katie Rose is living the dream as America's #1 pop star, caught in a whirlwind of sold-out concerts, screaming fans, and constant tabloid coverage. Everyone wants to know everything about her and her boyfriend, Ryan LaNave, the hottest member of adored boy band Crush Zone. Katie loves to perform, but hates the impossible demands of stardom. Let's skip forward to the now. Now, Kathleen Rosenberg is okay with her ordinary existence and leaving her pop star image in the past. That is until Cal Kirby shows up with an opportunity of her dreams, a starring role in the Broadway show he's directing, and a chance to perform the way she's always wanted to. Oh, that sounds really good. But what is the romance part? I don't know, maybe I'd have to read the entire synopsis, but I hate reading entire synopsises. It's like watching a movie trailer. Give away the entire thing. Okay, next up is Love Theoretically. I love you, Allie Hazelwood. I've only given you 5s. So June 13th is when it comes out. The Many Lives of theoretical physicist Elsie Hanaway has finally caught up with her. By day, she's an adjunct professor toiling away at grading labs and teaching thermodynamics in the hopes of landing tenure. By other day, Elsie makes up her non-existent paycheck by offering her services as a fake girlfriend, tapping into her expertly honed people-pleasing skills to embody whichever version of herself the client needs. So I feel like people have feel weird about this one because her first book, The Love Hypothesis, was a fake dating scenario. But personally, I feel like this is a different type of fake dating scenario, and I love fake dating, so it's okay by me. I'm like, you do what you do, and I'm gonna enjoy it, so whatever. Next is Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. Love you. Love you. She is amazing. Okay, so first adult debut novel, August 1st. Okay, so the story of one Dominican American family told through the voices of its women as, did I even tell you what the name of the book was? It's Family Lore. Okay. Told through the voices of its women as they await a gathering that will forever change their lives. Fleur has a gift. She can predict to the day when someone will die. So when she decides... My camera overheated and I literally only had two of them left. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I already talked about Family Lore. Sounds great. Actually, that was the last one I had left. I just have to say bye now. And I'm like, how dare you overheat on me? That was so rude. I'm not even putting my microphone back on because of the disrespect that my camera showed me. Okay, so if you got to the end of this video, leave me a fire emoji because my camera is like being dramatic and thinks it's gonna catch on fire because it's overheating. Stupid. Okay, so thanks for being here. I also said I was gonna tell you how I find books that are new. So what I've been doing is I use Goodreads primarily. Like, I go on the list and I look up like 2023 releases. I'll also, any new book that I find, I'll like scroll to the bottom of it if I'm on my phone of its page, and it'll be like suggesting other titles that are also like upcoming releases. It's just, I guess, how the algorithm works or whatever it puts together those things. Also, I like look up a book or list on like Book Ride and stuff like that. So that's typically how I figure out where I'm gonna find my new books. Anyways, thank you for being here. Be sure to like the video. I'm very glad to have you. And you know what? I just really appreciate everyone watching my videos and talking to me about what they think and like what books they want to read and stuff. It's my favorite. Okay. Bye. Oh, wait a second. I've never read from this author, nor do I really... Oh, shit. Now I'm rethinking everything. No. Yeah.